All right, here's part 2 of my mountain climbing adventures near Ome Station. So just a brief recap. I found a semi-obscure mountain a couple of stops west of Ome Station, then a bit to the south. It's not one of the famous mountains, and I'll be honest with you, since I don't have internet connection right now, I forget what it's called, but it's in the episode title. But even Googling it up, it's a little tricky. Pretty random mountain. But yeah, last episode was my adventure up the mountain. And I thought that would be a nice place to end because I liked how that felt. I liked the vibe of last episode. It's just like, I had a nice little hike up a mountain. It was pretty high up. I was feeling a little weirded out by being over 600 meters up on a fairly steep mountain and this crazy view out over Ome. But I was like, yeah, I did it. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. And it's not that the walk down was bad. This is still a pretty cool adventure, but a very different tone of just like, instead of going down the fairly well posted trail that I took on the way up, Japan, I've come to learn, is famously quite rugged in its trails. Things are a lot less signposted and a lot less developed. They really just want to keep it natural, like you really are just walking on a footpath in the mountains. Which is not a bad thing, but it is a tricky thing. So here's part 2. I made it to the top of the mountain. I found a secondary route so I could take a different method of getting to the bottom. And here we go. All right, there was a sign just past the peak for this way to Mount Hinode. So Hinode is definitely the most major peak near here, and I'm almost exactly halfway. Maybe not quite halfway. If you left earlier in the day, it would be absolutely no problem to get there. Even me with my time crunch, I mean, I think I could quite comfortably get there. The problem is I just don't know what it's like there. It's not that far from Mitake Station. But I don't know what the situation is like getting off of there. It's probably fine, but not only do I not have enough time, it would be irresponsible to do that, but I've also had this sudden realization that I don't care. I don't give a fuck about what mountain peak I'm on. Fuck that. But that is the next one. So instead of, if it's like, okay, that direction to Mount Hinode, then I'll go the other way. Fuck it. So I am taking a different route down. But I've never seen more pink ribbons in my life. Like, it's got the pink ribbons to make sure you're going the right way. And not just an occasional one. Like, sometimes these are, like out by the Congo Falls, they have the little markers, but from each marker, you know, you kind of got to search around maybe for the next one. Or even out in Fredericton, New Brunswick, occasionally in the UNB Woodlot, I would find stuff like that. And it was kind of a fun game. It's like from each marker, where's the next marker? It's not like that here. Here it's literally, there's a marker. I mean, right in front of me, there's a tree with no marker, and then the next tree has one. Like, they're just everywhere. But I'm not complaining. That's a nice thing. And definitely, hiking poles on the way down. I noticed this the other day, and it's still true here. I really don't need them on the way up. But on the way down, they wouldn't hurt. Going down really is tougher than going up. But yeah, overall, I mean, if you're into this sort of thing, everything is really well signposted. This isn't really that tricky of a hike. This all seems pretty good. I mean, you know, it's like I just rambled about. Maybe this is not quite what I'm looking for in my days of nature. Here's another big view out over a crazy huge gorge and a big field and rolling hills out into, I mean, it's just too high up. It's freaking weird. But if you're into this area is good. This is all really well labeled. Just as an experiment, yeah, just from where I'm standing right now, how many pink ribbons can I see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's just in my immediate vicinity. You couldn't get lost up here if you fucking tried. So that's a bonus. That's a good thing. Oh, I just turned the corner. There's 2 more, 3 more. Like, they're just endless. All right, I came across a much bigger shrine. This is Atago Shrine Okunyon, Okunoin. And at first, yeah, like I was just going down. Then stuff started going up again. And it's like, yeah, obviously it's mountains, you know. You can't just go down. And when you go down, it's not just going to be down the whole way. But there's that little part of me that's like, doesn't want to go up. It's like, why are we going up again? But we go up and then we go to here. And now that we're at the shrine, there's a sign in front of the shrine pointing toward a station. I think I'll come out closer to, I guess it's actually hard to say. I guess we'll find out when I get there. But I am going to be a little further west. Geez, yeah, this one's actually pretty big. It's all blocked off. You can't really get in here, but there's a bunch of shrine buildings. However, this comes back to one of the previous things, one of my questions about how things work in Japan, is I saw what looked like just a coffee cup up here laying on its side. And I was like, dude, what? Who left garbage up here? You know, I was like gonna take it with me. I'm like, well, I can at least, that's how I can show my religious observance or my appreciation of these places, even though I don't particularly have that. What I do appreciate is not littering, so I can do that. That's how I can show my respect. I can take this piece of litter with me and take it back. But then I realized it's actually full. It's not litter, it just, the wind blew it on its side. It's just one of these little cups from a convenience store. What's in it, I don't know. But anyway, and its best before date is 2 months ago. Like, I guess I'll just leave it. I mean, it's clearly here as an offering, you know. Next to, like, there's like a little thistle someone left as well. But that's just garbage. That's just garbage, you know? I mean, I've been confused about this the whole time, about like, what's the deal with these offerings? Who are they for? Why are you doing this? It does seem very much like garbage to me. Not that, not that anyone will ever fucking, not that my opinion means fucking anything, but I just gotta get that off my chest. I mean, I swear to God, I was 100% convinced that was garbage. I was like, I'm gonna just have to pick up this garbage and remove it from the shrine. And then to realize that it's like worse in a way. It's not even just that one asshole left a cup up here. It's not even just normal litter. It's like fucking, what do you call it when it's like a process that is, it's getting real windy up here. It's like a institutionalized littering. That's what it is. It's become a social construct that you're supposed to litter, that you're doing the right thing by littering. And when you do it in a mountain, in a beautiful mountain, it's so much worse. At least when you do it in the city, it's like that joke that, I mean, that's what cities are for. You're supposed to litter in the city. Don't litter in nature. Ugh. I am opposed to that. Not that anyone cares. I mean, it's one of those things just because I'm from a different culture, you know? It's better just to not even open the can of worms of like, why do they do X here? Why do they do Y here? I feel like once I start going down that path, it's just too different. Everything is too different from what I think, from how the pathways in my brain have been forged from the place where I grew up. It's better just to observe these things and, you know, maybe question to some degree, like, interesting, I wonder why. But when I take that extra step where I start making value judgments, that's not going to end well. I definitely do not understand the leaving stuff at the shrines, and this just was a more stark example. I just was like, everything in my brain is saying that's just litter. Someone left garbage at the shrine, and I don't understand why you would do that. But obviously it means something else to the people here. So whatever, I'll just leave it at that and not try to understand. Who gives a shit if I understand or not? It does not matter. So that extremely severe amount of pink ribbons didn't continue all the way down. That was clearly part of like that shrine I was just at. Just like if you're at the shrine, they just want to really make sure you can get up to the next crossroads with no problem. After this, on the way down from the shrine, it's less clear, but there are still more than enough of these markers on the trees. And I can see that the city is gradually getting closer. I'm at whatever height I'm at now. Feels fine. I mean, I'm still real high up. Little tiny town down there, but it just doesn't give me that, it doesn't give me the willies. But I did get turned around one time where there's just a turn you're supposed to take up here. And I didn't. I just continued on forward to a dead end. But 2 minutes, maybe not even 90 seconds. But dead ends are a little disconcerting because they are just a drop-off on all sides. And it's like, well, okay, I definitely can't go this way. But then I went back and 2 minutes and was just like, oh, okay, you just got to turn this way. Because not only are there the markers on the trees, there's also posts in the ground, red posts that are quite frequent every, 5 meters or so. And it'd be interesting to see a map of mountain ridges like this, because it's very similar to like streets down on the ground. They're kind of twisty and turny, but there's not that many of them. Like, there's just not that many options. I got on that little tiny dead end, but then when I came back, it's like, well, there is only 2 other ways to go. There's only back up to the shrine, or, oh, I see over there's the other way. It's definitely not like the woods where you can just wander through the woods or get turned around or walk in a circle by accident or all the wood navigation problems. These are kind of like streets, these ridges on the mountains. Like, this is it. You got the ridges and that's all you can walk on. So it would be neat to see the map. Because if this was like a dungeon in a video game, it's like a Phantasy Star 2 dungeon. It's pretty simple. I guess as with many times in the woods out here, it's pretty much the same scenario of if you do seemingly get caught in like a little dead end or you're not quite sure, is that it's just pretty evident where you're not supposed to be. Even if you might have missed where you are supposed to be, it's never really confusing when you're not where you're supposed to be. Like with that little dead end I was just on, within 2 minutes, I was just like going down a bit of a path that wasn't really a path. It was just a literal natural groove in the earth. And then right after that, there was nothing else. And it's like, all right, well, pretty obvious this is wrong. And it only took just a little wee backtrack to recalibrate. There are so many signs and stuff up here. I'm almost like a little surprised there's not a little sign there, just to point a little arrow. But who knows? I guess maybe just other people just haven't done that yet. They just haven't made that particular mistake. Well, I did it though. I did it. This is a good route down though, because it is way more gradual. Like, it's way more gradual. That other one that I entered from, it was a good way to get up because it was straight up. Like, boom, holy crap, I'm already at the top. That was nothing. But for the sake of my old knees, I'm glad I didn't have to go back down that way, because it is like quite steep stairs most of the way. Where this is just gentle declines. So it's taking longer, but it's for sure easier. Man, what the heck? Like right as soon as I said that, like, this is so gradual, so nice. It's so weird sometimes where it's like God is watching me and he just gives a little nudge. He's like, fuck this guy, look at that. It's just weird that as soon as I said that, pretty much right after, I came upon one of the great big power line towers. There's actually been 2 of them I've passed so far. And if anything, I thought like, oh, good, that's another bonus. People got to get up here and work on these things. There has to be a path. And there is, but this cannot be the route people must take to get to that shrine. There's no fucking way. There had to have been another route that, again, I must have just missed at some point. going backwards on these trails is always tough, because if I was heading up to that shrine, I'm sure, it's a very obvious route. Going back down from it, you could get off on any number of tangents. And yeah, I mean, there is a path. There is a path for the workers to come up here, but it's certainly a worker path. This is not a casual public path. Like, it got so, it just basically disappeared at one point. I don't know if you can look these things up, but that power tower was like peak number 28. I couldn't read anything else on the little signage there, because it's like one of those vertical ones that Google Translate just shits the bed with. But it said basically number 28, and then pointed me toward number 30. And that's where I'm headed now. But basically the path disappeared at one point because it was just too steep, and it just became the red pegs in the ground, which was not that bad. It's like, just hold on to some tree branches and follow the pegs. It was like 4 or 5 of those pegs. It wasn't that bad. And now I'm on a much more distinct path again. But yeah, it's a little steep and very rough. And whatever the normal path was, it has passed me by. So ultimately, this hasn't been that bad, but realistically, I do think just going back the way I came was probably the better plan. This is, again, the kind of thing that it's like, hey, whatever, take a little wrong path, go to some weird shrine, end up at a power tower, whatever. I'm still making my way down, making my way downtown. But this would be a better thing to do if it were earlier in the day, where it's like, who cares? I got plenty of time to amble around to figure out what's happening. And yeah, like I was saying, and there's only so many of these routes to come down the mountain. Whatever I clearly missed was probably pretty obvious. It wouldn't be that hard to find. But starting late in the day just removes a lot of that ability to go back and try again. It's like, I should probably just keep going. And this is fine, whatever. Again, it's a path up to a power tower. Here's a little marker, red ribbon on the tree. Everything's fine. It's just that this is so clearly not the main path. It's like, how did I do that? And just like fucking 1 minute after I said how gentle and easy the slope was being. Weird timing, man. I really am getting close to the bottom now, though. I can hear traffic. Can see through the trees, little buildings and stuff, and they barely even seem little anymore. They're getting closer and closer. I was just about to turn the recorder off. Oh, wait, so it's 3:58. This is not the 5 o'clock song. This is just an announcement of some kind. By the way, it echoes across the hilltops. Pretty eerie. Oh, now across from me I can see a different kind of power tower. The ones I was passing were just the gray metal ones. Ahead of me I can see a red and white one. I think those ones are bigger and more severe. But importantly, I'm beneath it. I am not above it. For quite a while, every time I'd see a power tower, I was higher up than it. And I'm not anymore, which is nice. Imagine if that announcement was saying, like, in its nice, calm, pleasant voice, "The city has been overtaken. Zombies are everywhere. Do not return to the city. I repeat, do not return to the city." But if that is what it said, let this be a found footage chronicle of the beginning of the zombie wars. Man, just as I'm getting right to the bottom, it's like there's houses right there. It's like I could reach out and touch them. Some extremely loud, really close sirens started, and it really added to my zombie takeover fucking fantasy. It's like, Jesus, what if shit really was going crazy down here? It's like the start of the Dawn of the Dead remake or something down there. But yeah, I'm basically at the bottom now. I'm coming out next to Mitake Shrine and right next to Chudo-in, Chudo-in temple. And I'm actually right by Ikusabata station. I'm on the other side of the Tama from that Tama River walk, the one that goes past Sawai and to Mitake. It's 10 after 4. I might as well, right? I mean, I'm right here. I might as well just go do that walk. I'll just cross over one of the bridges to the other side of the river. And since I got to go hop on a train anyway, why not go do that beautiful walk to finish things off since I got another hour of sunlight? Pretty much works out perfectly. So yeah, I definitely came down off this mountain the wrong way because I guess that's the shrine. I was going to say I'm in someone's backyard, but I'm not. It's the shrine. But yeah, this is a nothing path. You would never go up this path because it's not even evident that it's a path. So I definitely took a wrong turn somewhere, but not so bad, not a biggie. I'd call today a pretty big success because I thought just getting started so late in the day, I didn't think I'd do anything. I thought I could just do recon, I could just come see if I could find the opening to the beginning of this mountain trail and that'd be enough. So I'd at least know where to begin later on. But not only did I get to do a nice little run up to a relatively minor peak, just from a personal development standpoint, this has been kind of handy because I only have like 5 more days or something in West Tokyo. Then I'm going down to Yokohama, and then after that I'm off to South Korea. And this part in particular, West Tokyo, this was the part that was kind of weighing on me because there's just so many mountains around here and so many peaks. I'd never even come to Ome. And then I got here and I'm like, wow, this seems amazing. This seems like it's just too much. I don't have time to do all this stuff. So it's actually quite a handy thing to learn about myself that it's okay. It's like I feel like I can kind of write this area off in a sense. I like Ome a lot. Definitely the Ome Hills course. That's going on my forever list. Every time I come back to Japan, I'm going to come do that. I love that. But everything else around these parts, it's a nice comfort to be able to let it go. I don't need to worry about all these mountain peaks I didn't have time to go up because I don't want to do that. I don't actually like it that much. It's very handy. It's like relaxing. It's like, I can just chill out, Whatever there was for me to do on this particular trip out to West Tokyo, I certainly did it. I explored Ome, I explored Okutama, and I figured out what part of it works for me with days to spare. Now I can just relax for the rest of the time I'm here and not feel like, oh, this is my opportunity. Like I gotta go try these other things or go up these other mountains or whatever, because it's gonna be so much harder to get here from Yokohama, and it's going to be impossible once I leave the country. This is it. So it's a nice little, it's like failing forward, failing upward of like, oh, actually, I'm a big mountain wuss. This is not the route forward for me. This is not how we do. So yeah, I do get to just put a nice little bow on everything. Oh, there's a payphone outside of this temple. You don't see a ton of payphones. There was a lot more payphones in 2019, but I couldn't use them. I could, never figure out how to call home long distance through a Japanese payphone. But even out here, those are disappearing. Here we go, out on the road. Some old man walking by. Beautiful views of the mountains. And yeah, I think that sums up this neighborhood. Standing on the pavement outside of a shrine, looking at the mountains. That's the place for me. I don't need to be up in them bad boys. And yeah, they're really not that high up. I mean, now I'm looking back behind me at the one I just came down from. 650 meters is not that high up. It's not a very hard hike. You can do it real quick. But we all got our own struggles, and amongst mine is heights are not my friend. I don't like heights. So I like little mountains. Littler than this, like truly little mountains. Nice, low, wide mountains. Fukuoka Mountains, you might say. But yeah, overall, damn, got a lot more accomplished today than I expected. Now, I was gonna say I'm in the middle, but no, I'm actually pretty close to Ikusabata Bridge. So yeah, I'm just gonna backtrack a little bit, go across Ikusabata Bridge, and then I can do that whole nature walk along the edge of the Tama. Because between Ikusabata and Sawai is the more rough part, and then from Sawai to Mitake is the more developed part. Gonna do that. What a bonus. What a bonus. I get to go do that walk again as well. Just to wrap up the day, just to finish things off. Whew. Well, thank you for joining me once again on this somewhat odd endeavor of just describing stuff that I hope, surely at this point, I mean, I pretty much label the episodes based on where I've gone or where I'm going. But since this isn't even one of the famous mountains around here, who would ever click on this one besides a regular listener? So presumably that's you. Thanks ever so much. I hope my adventures are entertaining. Please join me next time for another one, although now I don't know what that's going to be. I mean, I guess just the Ome Hills, that Ome Hills hiking course. I guess that's what's left. Either the northern or southern variety. I guess that's what's left around these parts. Or maybe I'll just go do something else. Who the fuck knows? I'm at Mitake Station, just got like a 25-minute or so wait for a train. I'm afraid I just missed one. But man, again, it's like my comeuppance is just immediate, where I was saying how leaving stuff at a shrine feels like leaving garbage to me. And I accidentally, inadvertently left actual garbage. And now I just, God damn it, I'm immediately hoisted on my own petard. So, that little walk along the Tama River, just as beautiful the second time. It really is a beautiful walk. But it was very late in the day now. It was getting dark right away. Nobody else was down there today. Some people I saw on the other side of the river were exiting a kayaking journey, and that was it. But as I got to the more developed part of the trail, I found this just really charming little thing where, again, like I was saying, how, the stuff that happens in Japan, it's like you got to take the good with the bad, I guess, because even though I think it's weird to leave stuff at shrines, and like I don't understand, but there's a good side to stuff around here, obviously, as well. So it was just these little jars of yuzu marmalade. They're homemade, but they still are like surprisingly fancy pants. They got a little label and they got ingredient labels and stuff that I cannot read. They got a little date handwritten on of when it was bottled. But yeah, these were just laid out like about eight little containers, and there was a little Tupperware container with crackers in it and just a little sample thing so you could try on the crackers. You could sample the marmalade, and then just a lockbox, and it's just 500 yen for one of these. And it's so charming. I mean, it is like you're in the Waltons past. If even. In the Waltons, you probably couldn't get away with this, because during the Great Depression, people would steal all your stuff. Just that can be left there. No one will mess with it. Nobody's going to steal the marmalade. Nobody's going to steal the money from the lockbox. It's just delightful, man. It's just fucking charming. And it's like, I don't even quite know what to do with this. I'm going to have to go to 7-Eleven and get some crackers or some bread or something, and I'm really going to have to go out of my way to eat this faster than you're supposed to eat it. You're obviously supposed to just pick away at this in little bits, but I don't want to take a half-eaten jar of marmalade across Tokyo with me to Yokohama. I want to eat this in the next few days while I'm here. So yeah, I happen to have 500 yen in coins, luckily, in my wallet. I just broke a bill the other day. So I got one. And again, not so much even to have the thing, because it's actually it's going to be a little tricky. I'm going to have to put a little effort into making sure I can eat this. It's just that I wanted to support it. I just think it's so cool. I want to give you 500 yen for one of these, because it's such a great little thing that you kind of just, I mean, we have stuff like this in North America, but you would have to, have a manned station. You'd have to have somebody standing out there. You couldn't just leave this outside of your backyard next to a trail and just have the process work okay. And there was money in that box. If somebody wanted to crack it open, it's just a little wooden box, you'd probably make $20 or $25. Or if somebody wanted to just steal marmalade or just wreck it for no reason, just that no one is doing that is delightful. But yeah, with the garbage thing, man, it got dark down there very fast. It was really getting dark quick. And then I stopped in the little washroom that's down there. And in the time I was in the washroom, it became pitch black when I walked back out. I'm like, whoa, it is dark. And there's slight lighting, but I was like, I wish I could get out of here a little sooner, but I couldn't. But I was almost at Mitake Station, not a big deal, but it really got dark down there. And I walked up from the riverbank, and I was on the street proper, and I was like, all right, here we go. Here's the drink machines and stuff. Here's the places you can dispose of cans. Time to throw away the can that I bought at the start of the trail. And I checked my pockets, and I was like, oh no, I left it just on the same little rock wall where this whole setup with the marmalade was set up. I put the can down next to this while I got out my money and I bought one of these, and I never picked the can back up. I just started walking. And I was like, can I go back? I mean, I could, it's not that far. No, I just can't. See, I can't. Because not only is it dark down there, but now I've already checked in at the station. I don't think I can just check out. I can't go back down there and get my can. I mean, it's not that big a deal. It's just a can sitting there. But I feel bad that in the morning when somebody goes down there, like, oh, cool, we got money in the lockbox. People bought some of our marmalade, but some fucking idiot left a can here, I feel bad about it, but I just fucking completely forgot. I just walked away and left the can. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's certainly worse than leaving stuff at a shrine for dubious purposes, because none of those people intend it as garbage. Where what I did, that's actually just garbage. That's all that is. I just left a can there. Oof, anyway, my terrible, stupid brain, my bad memory. I literally just walked away. I just walked right away. Well, I mean, I had my little can of fucking marmalade, and I was like, oh, put that in my pocket, zip up my pocket, make sure my marmalade doesn't fall out. I bought some marmalade, and I just left the can.
まもなく1番線に電車が参ります。危ないですから黄色い線まで下がってお待ちください。
So here comes the train, but that's not my train. That's the train going out to Okutama. So anyway, it's a little bit funny to be criticizing others, criticizing the world, and then just to immediately do much worse. To do the very thing I was criticizing people for, but more so.
この電車は青梅線奥多摩行きです。乗り降りの際にはドア横のボタンを押してください。ドアを閉める際には周りのお客 Please stand clear from the train. Please stand clear from the train. Please stand clear from the train.
Hey, you know what? Fuck it. What am I doing? What am I, in some kind of hurry? Fuck all this. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna leave garbage. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna go try to check out, because it's all just self-checkout stuff here. There's no attendant. And if it doesn't let me, I mean, actually, do I even need to check out? Like, I'm already checked in. There's no turnstile here. So there's a train coming at 5:45, and then the next one is at 6:20. Fuck it, dude. I'm gonna go get my can, and I'll just come back to the station and catch the 6:20 train. Fuck this. I won't let this happen. I will not be a litterer. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna turn on the light on my phone, and I'm going back down there, and I'm getting that can. Put my fucking money where my mouth is. I'm a goddamn Canadian. I do not litter. This is not gonna fucking happen. There you are, you little dickhead. Can ASMR. Got you. Fuck, it's dark down here. I just turned off my my smartphone flashlight to pick that up. I'm immediately turning it back on. There are little tiny lights down here, but man, they are insubstantial. So, yeah, usually whenever I have to do some kind of backtracking, it's always a lot quicker than I thought. So I'm like, just go do it. It's never that far of a distance. You know, it's never as far as it seems. This one actually was kind of far. This took longer than I thought it was going to take. But it's like 5:44 now. The 5:45 bus or train is coming right now. No worries. I'll be back in time for the 6:18. No trouble. It's funny because as I was leaving the station, other people were arriving. A bus stopped and dropped them off. And it looks like I'm just skirting the turnstile, like I'm just leaving, and it's going to seem that way on the way in too. But it's not like anybody cares. No one's paying attention to me. But I could, if I had to, I could explain, like, no, I'm just stupid. I already did sign in. Trust me, it's all good. I just had to leave the station and go get a can because I'm just a fucking moron. But even this little washroom here, I'm just passing the washroom again. I stopped in real quick to have a pee. And there is a sign in there that in multiple languages, including English, says, please do not leave your garbage. Thank you. And it's like, I got you, fam. I will not. It's funny because if this was Canada, you know, like, whatever. I would feel stupid, but I'd be like, whoops, I left my can. Oh well, whatever, you know. Because again, it's such a minor thing. It's not like I tossed it in the fucking river. It's just sitting there. Someone just has to pick it up and throw it away themselves. But it's just so uncouth in Japan in general. And this whole path is so beautiful and perfect. And they even put up a sign that said, look, just don't, man, just don't. So I didn't. I'm glad I came back. That would have bothered me. I'd be laying in bed tonight going like, why didn't I just go get the can? So I'm glad I was talking it out on my fucking podcast and just realizing, like, why am I not going to get the can? What exactly is the justification here? It's a little bit dark. I gotta walk for 10 minutes. Fuck you, go get the can. So can has been rescued. Oh, yeah, there goes the train. I can continue to be a card-carrying member of the critical Canadian elite. the annoying, you shouldn't litter patrol. Because god damn it, I don't litter and I won't litter. You can't make me litter. I almost littered. God, I came so close to littering, holy shit. But luckily I saved this situation at the last moment. All right, not only is it dark, it's getting really cold down here. I gotta put some little gloves on my fingies. So thank you for listening. I don't know what the plan is for tomorrow, who the heck knows? But please join me next episode to find out. Thank you for listening, as always. All right, I'm back at the station. I got like 20 minutes to wait. There's nobody here, so nobody saw my weird shenanigans of not swiping the card on the way in, not buzzing into the station. So that's nice because it's just awkward. But man, yeah, when I was saying too, like, oh, I just wanted to get the marmalade just to pitch in, just to help out. What am I going to do? It's like a pain to eat the marmalade. I'm so fucking dumb. Fuck that. It's goddamn delicious. It's amazing. So one of the things I also had beyond the classic Japanese sweets assortment bag when I was hiking, although those were great. Those are actually perfect for hiking. They're each individually packaged. They're just a tiny little bun. They've got that moist, sugary stuff inside, but they're all kind of different. It's all like a slightly different flavor, but they're actually perfect for hiking. Those are awesome. But I also have this thing I just bought at the station, which is just Alfort mini chocolate. It's just a chocolate bar, or it's like little mini chocolates. They're like little, these ones are strawberry on a little biscuit. So I was like, fuck it. What if I just dip this? I was thinking like, oh, I'll just get something plain, get some bread, get some crackers. But it turns out it's even better if you've got a little strawberry biscuit and then you put a big fucking hunkin' whack, I'm way overdoing it because I do want to make sure I eat this whole thing, of homemade yuzu marmalade. Oh yeah, it's got the rinds in it and stuff. Oh, holy fuck, it's so good because it's like a little bitter. Oh, and it mixes with the sweet strawberry like crazy. Holy fuck. God damn it, this is so good. Oh, I can't even get over how good that is. That is 500 yen well spent. What a good day. Oh, here comes the train going the other way. Groundhog Day, back again. But what a good day, man. This all turned out so well. Okay, thank you for listening. I will see you next time. Adios.